As the UN completes 80 years, the celebration unfolds in a very unique way here at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. We are at Ellora Caves, one of the first World Heritage Sites of India, and we are at Kailasa Temple, the biggest monolithic structure in the world, which has been carved from up to down.
From recreating the historic 1967 UN General Assembly concert by Pandit Ravi Shankar and Yehudi Menuhin, and to classical dances from the live reinterpretation of Ajanta murals in a contemporary idiom, to the recitation of sacred shlokas, the environment at the Kailasa temple stood transformed. International performers came together from 7 different countries to weave performances which enthralled the audience.
Kailasa temple is the authentic encyclopedia of Hinduism and Hindu thought, carved in stone. There is hardly a tale from Ramayana or Mahabharata or of Puranic origin which has not been carved in this temple. And the greatest Hindu iconography, as of course Buddhist and Jain, is to be found in Kailasa temple and in the temples which form the Ellora group of caves along with Ajanta. The real reason why this event was organized here is that despite its majesty and its importance to Indian civilization, the tourist footfall to Ajanta and Ellora Caves is but 1/10 of what we receive in the golden triangle that is Agra and Jaipur, which is very surprising. Although the architectural beauty of Kailasa far outstretches that of any other building in India. And the other concerning factor is that footfall of tourists to Ajanta is of domestic origin, and it is low revenue yielding. It is largely from Maharashtra and areas surrounding Maharashtra. Insofar as other areas are concerned, the tourist footfall is largely, from people who come from Europe, who come from Japan, and from other parts of the world, and now particularly from China. And this is very surprising because the origin of Buddhism and spread of Buddhism starts from the Ajanta caves, and so I'm very surprised that why Buddhist tourists from all over South Asia do not come to India and to Ellora.
Thus was born SOPAN's flagship cultural initiative, EIKYAM 2025, to reflect the values upheld by the UN and to find their resonance in India's rich cultural tapestry interwoven with deep spirituality and peaceful coexistence.
With the presence of dignitaries, ambassadors and diplomats from over 35 countries, the focus wasn't just around visiting different sites, but it was around a culturally immersive experience. So may it be Launi, which is the traditional folk dance of Maharashtra, or may it be the weaving of Paithani and the Himru saris, the entire aim seemed to be to give an immersive experience to all those who had come for a celebration.
The idea is that Ajanta and Ellora were the first World Heritage Sites to be listed by UNESCO in 1983 in India. And so we wanted to revisit Ajanta Ellora on the occasion of the 80th anniversary, make it a historic occasion, revisiting the first World Heritage Sites of India, and with UNESCO being a major partner, with the Maharashtra tourism, the city of Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar being our major partners.
When we founded our organization, SOPAN, 3 years ago, the idea was to revisit India's heritage in a contemporary context, to celebrate at heritage monuments, bring Indian and international artists together on the same stage at these backdrops, which is something that hasn't been done very often. and is very exciting to us because we're able to recreate these spaces and reimagine them in a way that hasn't really been done very much, and to be able to access these monuments in the way that we have been able to has been a fantastic experience.
It was a cultural extravaganza the city had hardly witnessed. The ancient Kailasa temple was decked up and the lights brought to life the weathered carvings.
And the cherry on top was a beautiful talk by William Dalrymple on the background of the majestic Ellora Caves.
It's interesting to know why we've forgotten India's contribution. Is it because of colonialism? Prime Minister Modi this week talked about Macaulay, who famously said that a single shelf of a good English library is worth the whole of the native literature of India and Arabia. We laugh at those ideas today, but still they linger in Western education systems where we learn so little about India's contribution. But something we perhaps don't always realize is how far this Kailasa temple, Ellora, was the center not just of a cultural world in Maharashtra and central India, but that it was the web, the center of a web which stretched out as far as Afghanistan to the west and as far as Bali to the east. This extraordinary Indosphere whereby ideas, religions, philosophies, arts, dance, music, science, astronomy, the whole warp and woof of civilization extended out from here to the whole of Asia. And what is most remarkable is that that projection of Indian soft power happened without a sword being drawn, an arrow being fired, or a spear being thrown. There is no other example in world history of the spread of ideas entirely peacefully, making such profound change over such an extraordinary area of the earth, entirely peacefully, entirely through the sheer power of its sophistication.
And that was not all. There were curated heritage tours to Daulatabad Fort and Bibi Ka Maqbara, a celebration of Maharashtrian cuisine, among other things. The guests were all spellbound.
I'm very, very glad to be here in this important Ellora monument. And in fact, this is my third time. I have been ambassador of Peru almost 9 years in 2 different occasions. And I appreciate very much the culture, the history of India. And in a way, we have a connection with India because Peru is the oldest civilization in the Americas, 5,000 years old. It's called Caral. And this connection is the base to improve our relationship with India.
Well, it has been very good. You know that Spain has always been very connected with art. So we have been very happy to contribute to that and to be associated. But as we were saying today, you know, what is this 80 years compared with this millennium heritage? This is just a drop in the ocean of culture and beauty.
The celebration of 80 years of UN has been a very good one, and we've reflected upon where the UN has been and how it's developed and where it's going, and the difficult circumstances that it's facing with funding cuts and what can be done to accommodate and overcome those difficulties and those gaps. So I hope that's been helpful.
Thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here in the Runga region and to join the ICAM Festival as we celebrate 80 years of United Nations in unity and in culture. So discovering this region including the rich heritage, including the artistic traditions you have here, were really very inspiring. And we witnessed here the caves that are more, Ellora Caves, they are more than 1,000 years old. I was so impressed, I have never seen this. I'm here since 1 year in India exactly as an ambassador of Switzerland. So I'm really very much impressed.
UNESCO was happy that the event reflected the ideas upheld by the UN.
Well, I think, first of all, it's an amazing site, and I think it talks to the story of how humanity really achieves its greatest things when people come together. And here we have a site that had Jain, Buddhist, and Hindu traditions all living and working together. And the magnificence of the site is that we are at our best as humans when we work collectively. I think that sits very well with the theme of the United Nations at 80. And, you know, why not? This was an amazing opportunity. This is one of the first World Heritage Sites. The World Heritage, as people may not know, is not just a label. It's an international treaty. It's a United Nations treaty to protect cultural heritage. And it's one of the most signed, ratified treaties in the world with 196 countries. So it all fit together perfectly, and I think it's been a fantastic occasion.